So I am in the person of Akune Akoje Yesham Hamilton. Index number 2425403899. Data science and analytics morning session. And I'm here to present on the capstone project. So we decided to go with a student attendance record system for our project. And I was in charge of the code implementation for the project. So here you see I've created index.html, instructor.html, login.html, register.html, and student.html. So we used HTML and Python. And with the Python, we downloaded Flask to create our code. Yes, we downloaded Flask. We used some of the Flask API to create our code. So the Flask is like a lightweight web framework used to handle HTTP requests, routing, rendering HTML templates, and session trunking. And then we have the WexWeg provides secure password hashing. So we used the HTML. This was what we used as the front end. Then when you go into the student system, attendance system, we have HTML as the front page, and then we have the instructor. So we have the instructor, we have the login page, we have a register page, and we have a student page. So the instructor, this is the code for the instructor. We use HTML and CSS. We mixed them together. So you can see our CSS here and our HTML as well. So with the student attendance system, a student can log in, and we also have the instructor. The student can log in and do their assignment, and then the instructor too can. The instructor will log in and then mark attendance. Then you, the student, you see it in your portal. That's how the code has been structured. So here we also have the Flask and our SQL codes mixed together. We have the Flask and the SQL code mixed together. And we have the app.ui. That is the main codes for the whole project. That is what is going to, this is the codes that are going to interact with the database, and this is the same code that is going to serve as the back end. And it will be doing all the registering and to connect the front end to the back end. So when you enter information, this is the code that will connect to the back end, and then it will let your information be saved into the database. So once this is done, we hosted the whole project on our GitHub account. And then when we hosted it on the GitHub account, we created the AWS platform where we created our server, and then we connected the GitHub to the server. Yes, that's what we did. We connected the GitHub account to the server so that the codes will now be uploaded through the GitHub onto the server, and it will be live. Yes, please. So that is simple, our project for the student attendance system. We have the codes and everything written.
Hi, my name is Samuel, and I'm the database administrator for my group's project, which is the capstone project. Today, I'll be walking you through the cloud database infrastructure of our project, which is being hosted on the Amazon Web Services. But then, I'll be doing this with the help of some screenshots or captured images from our RDS console. First off, as a database administrator, my job is to create or provide a reliable, safe, secure, and a fully monitored data store for my system's backend data requirements. But then, in order for me to achieve all of this, firstly, I need to deploy a managed RDS instance running PostgreSQL 15 on a db.t4gen.micro instance class, which is located in Sweden, Stockholm to be precise. Now, looking at our DB identifier, we can see it is named Capstone DB and it is currently in the available state. This simply means that our system or our project is live and is ready to receive and send information, and also it is actively listening to connections or listening for connections. Now, let's talk about the safety and security of our system. To ensure the safety and security of our system, I put clear security rules in place so that random people on the internet cannot access our private system. I open port 5432, which is a standard electronic doorway used by this kind of databases. And what it does is it only allows our own application code to connect securely to the database while blocking outside network accesses. To make sure our system does not crash or become slow, I continuously monitor its health using Amazon CloudWatch tools. As you can see on this graph, I track processor usage, memory availability, the available storage space, and the connection speed. But from what is being shown on the screen, you can see that the system is performing very smoothly with low processor workload and fast speed, which means it can easily handle many users at the same time. Finally, I also set up the main tables to organize our data. We have different tables for user accounts, project details, and daily activities. Everything is fully set up, safe, and ready to use. Thank you.
Technology University, offering data science and analytics. So, for the end of semester, that is the capstone project, my group has decided to do a cloud-based student attendance system, and I play the role of a QA analyst. So, these are the things we are going to test out. First of all, login and registration, student instructor access control, recording attendance, attendance calculation, and all of these. So let's dive right into it. Once you copy and paste the URL into the browser, this is the landing page you're going to see. Now, for you to log in, you have to register first. And when you tap the register, you're going to see this form. When you are done inputting your credentials, you are going to state whether you are a student or an instructor, and that is going to be your role. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so when I log in as a student, this is going to be my interface. So here I can see my records and everything. Now let's log in as an instructor. Please note that when you log in with an email for a student, that same email cannot be used for the instructor. So this is the interface for the instructor. Now, the instructor can go through the process of marking the attendance by selecting the course name, the date. So today is 24th August 2026. And then choose the students they want to mark the attendance for. Mark present, absent, or late, and submit the attendance. Once you submit the attendance, you are going to see this record that has been made, and we can export to a CSV file. So this is the CSV file where we'll see the student's record as a CSV file. Then we can perform the create, read, update, and delete. So we've already created one. In case we want to update it, we input the date and then select the student we want to add to the record and then submit. You're going to see this interface. Now, once we've updated, we can delete. So this shows the record has been deleted. Now, going back to the student's interface, let's log out first. Yes, so this shows the attendance calculation that we've made. All right, so we have deleted, we have tested the crude, and students can only see their dashboard and not anybody else's dashboard. We've made the CSV export. Now for the UI and responsiveness, we all can witness that once we tap on anything, it does not shake or everything is in place here. However, if you open this interface or this URL on your phone, you may have to zoom in to be able to interact well with the system. I believe that is the end of my presentation. Thank you. Have a good day.